Hello, everybody. This is Jyoti Mayekar, and this is part 6 of Legends of the Physics World. Guess who? He was a talented but shy British physicist. People joke that his dictionary consisted of yes, no, and I don't know. He once said, I was taught at school never to start a sentence without knowing the end of it. His PhD thesis is famous for being impressively short and powerful, presenting a new mathematical description of quantum mechanics. He is remembered for his outstanding work on the magnetic monopole and in predicting antimatter. Awarded Nobel Prize in 1933, his first thought was to avoid the publicity. But he gave in when he told that would give him even more publicity if he turned it down. Yes, Paul Dirac. Existence of antimatter. So, what was the problem? Creating an equation for electron in 1928, Dirac saw that it offered the possibility that electrons could have negative as well as positive energy. Just as the equation, consider the equation x square equals to 4. So if we take the equation x square equals to 4, it has two solutions. X may be equals to 2 or x equals to minus 2. Okay, so Dirac has two ways of solving his problem. Positive energy was expected associated with normal electron, but negative energy made no sense. So Dirac suggested that such particles may actually exist. This complementary state of matter is antimatter. Existence of positrons. So in 1932, Carl Anderson confirmed the existence of positrons experimentally. Many physicists, after once Dirac said that antimatter exists, so many physicists they were looking for, they were doing experiments so as to prove that yes, antiparticle exists. So in 1932, Carl Anderson confirmed the existence of positrons experimentally when he was following the tracks of showers of particles produced by cosmic rays. When he was doing this, he saw the track of positively charged particles with the electron's mass, the positron. So antimatter was not just abstract idea, but it is real. Now, anti-particle of electron, that is positron, was discovered, but it took another 2 decades for the discovery of next antiparticle, that is antiproton. Why? See, whenever we discover these particles in accelerators. Okay, so accelerator has to accelerate these particles for its discovery, so that they can be detected. So when we consider electron mass is very less. So for accelerating electron, we need an accelerator with less energy. But the mass of proton, how much it is? Mass of proton, it is approximately 1836 times that of mass of electron. That means if we want to detect proton or detect antiproton, you say, then we will need an accelerator which will be having approximately 2000 times energy more than the one which was required for electron. Okay, so building such a highly energetic accelerator, it took actually 2 decades. Okay, so large mass of proton, large mass in the sense approximately 2000 times more, 1836 times more mass of proton. That is how it took another 2 decades. Suppose you are walking down the street and you meet replica of yourself. It is your antimatter twin. Do you shake hands? No, you're not supposed to. See the reason. When the beam of particles and antiparticles meet, they annihilate each other in a flash of pure energy. So when particle antiparticle they meet, they annihilate and energy is emitted. So mass, basically when particle antiparticle meet, mass is converted into energy according to Einstein's equation, which is equals to mc square. So if you meet your antimatter twin, it might not be such a good idea to throw your arms around them, otherwise you will also annihilate. Famous quote: in science One tries to tell people in such a way as to be understood by everyone, something that no one ever knew before. But in poetry, it is exact the opposite. Thank you so much.